Pull, 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 pull. Here we go. What's up, Freebirds? Welcome back to the channel. We are reviewing the Stage 1 on the FXR. It is a beautiful Sunday here in Michigan. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day yourselves. What is a Stage 1? What possibly could that be? Well, that's simply an air filter, or air cleaner that is high flowing, and as well as an exhaust that is pretty much beyond at least your stock one. So that's what essentially a Stage 1 entails, along with a tune. Like myself, a carburetor here, that would be a rejetting to match what a high airflow motor now. You're bringing in more air, you're exhausting more. You need to be able to bring in more fuel to match. Now, for those that have fuel injection, you have a throttle body, so that probably entails having a new map done. Stage 1, pretty sure it's the same all across the board for most bikes. Air filter, exhaust, and a tune. Why would you want to put a Stage 1 on your bike going from stock? Well, simply because EPA has sucked down the performance on just about any stock performing bike out there. They're tuned down to make sure that they are compliant to what the government sees fit. Even back in 1992, this FXR was restricted. Jets in the carb that aren't worth a damn from the factory. There's two jets. There's a main jet and a pilot jet, or your idle jet. Your pilot or idle jet is good all the way up to about 3,200 RPMs, and your main jet is good for 34 or 33 and above. When you're pulling on the throttle there, 3/4 of the way more is your main jet, and before that is your pilot jet. Those are the two that allow the fuel to run through the carburetor. Harley, I should say, needed to compete or comply with the EPA, so what they did was they jetted down. They wanted to restrict the amount of fuel getting into this. Well, luckily, it's a simple fix for these CV carbs and any carburetors. You pull the jets out, you go bigger. To be able to figure out which size to go with, that's a tricky one. Everyone has a little bit of different exhaust to air cleaner that's on their bike. There's no simple, hey, run this. At times you can get close to what someone else does, but all in all, it takes you, the driver, figure out where you need to be. I went with a stock pilot or idle, so now that's going to be all the way up to my 32 RPMs on this bike. Now I bumped it up on my main jet to a 175 from a 165. That essentially is what really fines tune a Stage 1 for at least these carbs. Why do a Stage 1 on an FXR or an Evo? Simply because it sucks from the factory, but you can still get a good turn of power or performance out of them. Air cleaner, high flowing exhaust, and a good tune. These bikes come back alive. You don't feel like you're so restricted. So that's why I did mine. I'll pull over shortly and we can talk about what I have on here real quick. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find a spot to pull over. Currently have a 2-in-1 by Fab 28 exhaust matched with a Arlen big air sucker and a freshly rebuilt CV carb rejetted. So those that haven't seen this before, and that's what this looks like, that's what makes this Stage 1 complete for myself. Now all that info, what does that really matter? Nothing until you actually put it to the ground. All right. Wanted to find myself a good stretch of road here to get the final review of the Stage 1. It completely woke up this motor. I cannot believe it. From the 2-in-1, the air intake rejetting, this thing hits it. Man, it just woke it up so much. You can just tell how restrictive it was in the higher RPM. And it feels beautiful. Man, I'm so excited about that. Woo! Hold on tight. Give her a couple more rips here. When you're riding, that other jet comes alive, right? 33. We're gonna come up to here. We're gonna pass this truck, hammer it. Woo! That's thanks to the jetting. That allowed me to get that extra oomph past that RPM range. Do it again here in a minute. Safe area, open lines. We're good to pass and pull, 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 pull. Here we go. Woo! Baby, that's good. All right, I just want to do that to show twice about how much this thing actually pulls from just doing a Stage 1 now. That's to me, it's mind-blowing to me. Doing the exhaust and air filter and rejetting this thing has made this bike feel like a whole new bike on the performance end. I love it. Got the throttle where I want it. It snaps well. It responds well. All right, here's a good example too. Let's test her out in the slow range, low RPMs, corners, and it feels good. Get some fuel here soon. Very excited that this stage 1 came out the way it did. I'm going to now enjoy my rest of my ride, just cruising around until I gotta go fill up our gas. If you made it all the way through, as always, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button, tap that like, press that notification, leave a comment below and tell me what you think. And for those that have already subscribed, thank you. As always, stay free, and I'll catch you guys later.